What is happening? What's going on, guys? How's it going? Happy Wednesday. Today, well, hold on. What are you doing, Scott? Hold on. I'm discombobulated. Let me get myself together. Hold on. Okay, I'm together. Welcome to your Vape at 5. I am your host. I am BlackCat. Today, I have a review of a mod, that is put together by Dovpo and TVC, or the Vapor Chronicles. It is the big brother to the TopSide. It is the TopSide Dual. Dual stands for Dual 18650. So, as I do with all my reviews, I'm not going to sit here and joke around a little bit. I'm going to get right into the review because I think a lot of people actually want to see the review and then they turn it off and go do something better with their day, and I completely understand that. So, just going to introduce the mod. We'll take it down to the mat here. We'll take a look at it. I'll show you the ins and outs of it. Bring it back up top, and I'll give you my final thoughts or my opinion of the device. So, I got this device about over a week ago, probably about 10 days ago. I checked the puff count before I reset it, and I had about 2,000 hits on it. So I've used it quite a bit. One thing I will mention is I did not have the TopSide, the first one, the single 21700, 2700, or 18650. So this was my first introduction into the TopSide, and I think that Brian, when he marketed it, and this is just my opinion, but I think he was very, very smart to do the single battery first before doing the double battery. That's just my opinion. I think that the single battery probably wouldn't sell as well if it would have been flip-flopped, but hell, what do I know? I didn't pick one up, not because I didn't want one, just because I have so many single battery squonks. I was like, I'll just stick with what I got. And then I heard the Dual was coming out, and that cemented it. I was like, I'll just wait until the Dual comes out. Now, the market for Dual 18650 squonkers, believe it or not, it's not that great. When I say the market, I mean the availability. The availability of Dual 18650 squonkers is pretty open. And I love Dual 18650 squonkers because I love the battery life, and I love that I can build a little bit lower on them and get in a higher wattage. And this one, so when I saw it was coming out, I was like, oh, hell yeah, I've got to have this. It is, first, the look of it. I actually really like the look. It comes in a bunch of different colors. This one is red. It comes in silver, green, purple, gold. A bunch of different colors that the other one didn't offer. A couple things that are different. This one actually has temperature control mode right out of the box. The original TopSide, you had to have a upgrade or a firmware upgrade in order to get to the temperature control. But this one, he didn't do that. He actually put it on the mod originally in the original chip, original package, original software, and but it didn't influence the complexity or make it more difficult to use. That's something that I will talk about when I bring it down low. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and take it down to the mat. Let me get my RDA off of here, and I will talk about the TopSide Dual. All right, get this cleaned up. Okay, let's bring this down here. First thing I'm going to show you is the box, what it comes in. So let's take a look at that. Get this up here just a bit. All right, scoot that back. Got to get all situated here, of course. All right, here's the TopSide Dual by Dovpo and TVC, or the Vapor Chronicles. A few things on the front here that are really key to this mod. First, gives the creator of it, which is Brian, the TVC, 10 mil top fill squonk bottle. 10 mil is just an absolute luxury for a mod. I think that is huge. A major plus. Here it indicates that it is a Dual 18650. Here's another change. Goes from 100 watts with the 21700 or 90 watts with the 2700 18650 to 200 watts. And what I mentioned before, that temperature control is straight out of the box. Takes a little quote from history here: with great power comes great simplicity. That's a quote. Usually great responsibility. Nice little play on words there. Very cool. Inside the package, we're going to see the TopSide Dual box mod. You're going to get two 10 mil squonk bottles. You get one in the mod and an extra one. One is frosted color or clear, and the other is a little bit darker. One accessory bag, one micro USB that you can use for firmware updates, and a battery usage card and a user manual on the back here. TopSide Dual gives some information here about the creator and what TVC was thinking when he put this together. A little bit of information on some of the upgrades with the dual battery and the 200 watts. Here's something that's really, really important, and he mentioned this in the video that Brian did originally, is when you remove the bottle, you're not going to remove the bottle laying with the mod laying down. And the reason being is that if you do that, the juice can pour out, and it can get into the internals of the device. So one thing that we're going to do today, and it's just when you take out the bottle, make sure you have it in a vertical or 90-degree angle. It would just be for the longevity of the mod there. So information on where it was from. Other side here just says TVC. And that's pretty much it. Inside the box here, get a really, really nice box. I like the presentation of the mod, honestly. I think that it's really classy, this nice black box with the name of the mod and the producer of the mod and then the creator right there in the middle. So take this out. Inside here, you're going to get a user manual, a battery safety card. Always check your batteries before you use them. If there's any wear or tear on them, make sure you change out the wrap on it. If you don't know how to do that, Google it and figure that out. Low quality control. And here is your extra squonk bottle right there, which is very important. The original TopSide, here's a nice note from Brian, something you can read in there, just thanking you for buying the mod. User manual. The original TopSide, and that's pretty much all that's in the box. Here's your micro USB. That's really all that's in the box. Very sleek, really nice presentation of the mod. All right, close that here. Okay, so here is the actual mod. The measurements on this are 88 millimeters tall, 54 millimeters wide, and 42 millimeters thick. The originality of the mod is this top fill squonk mod. So you can get to that just by unscrewing this here. It's knurled top. Down just a bit. Knurled top here. Just unscrew that, pull it open. And it has a nice, big, fat, easy way to fill your mod. This is the first one that I know of that did top fill. And Brian, it's a really, really great idea. Somebody would do it, quite frankly. It's one of those that you just can't believe somebody didn't do it before. But Brian did it, and really a genius idea. So go ahead and put that back on. There's a spring loaded when you put the top back on. And it fits really, really nice. You got to get used to turning it a little bit, but works really, really well. One thing that he did mention, and one thing that I found, is with the dark bottle, it's hard to tell exactly where your liquid is unless you really, really look. I can tell, and you can see in there it's about half full. When you're filling it, though, it's a little bit hard to see how much you have coming up here. So you just got to be kind of careful with it and not overfill it. If you do, quite frankly, just clean it up, and it's really no harm, no foul. 510 pin there, squonk ready. The juice actually, and I'll show you the inside here, but the juice actually comes across here, and there's a little bit of a opening between the bottle and the internals here, but it does have good. One big thing I like about squonk mods, that I like about certain squonk mods, is that they do a separation between the squonk bottle and the battery and internals of the device. I think it's just a disaster waiting to happen when they're all together. A lot of made plastic ones, like the Rebel, for example, has the squonk ball sitting right on top of the batteries, and then that's right against the internals of the device and the chip, and it's just a disaster waiting to happen. So separating the bottle out of there is a huge, huge pro for me. Inside here is the batteries. On the bottom here, your battery door, Dovpo, TVC Creations. Let's open that up. Now, something about the battery door that I think is really unique. He put a magnet on the bottom here, which is really a good idea. At first, I was kind of like, okay, well, the intention of that is that you take your top off here, and when you're filling it up, you can slide it on the bottom here, and it'll hold it. I don't really do that because I typically have it sitting down, but one thing I did find with the battery that I really like, or the magnet that I really like, is when you're actually putting your batteries in, you can just set your battery down on it like that. Put your first one in, which if you look here on the battery door, it is extremely clearly marked. You know, your positives over here, your negatives over here. Just drop your battery there on the magnet and slide them in like that. So super easy, very clearly marked where your batteries goes. It does have reverse polarity. so that if you were to put your batteries in the wrong way, it's not going to blow up on you. It just would not fire. Spring-loaded battery positives there, negative on each side. Your squonk bottle comes in and out just by pulling it out here. Again, I'm going to put it vertical when I pull it out. And it fits in there really, really nice. One thing I like about it is that when you open the battery door, the squonk bottle doesn't automatically fall out. It sits in there really, really nice. And basically, if you're changing batteries, you can hold it vertical and not worry about your squonk bottle falling out. So really, really nice touch. Squonk bottle is actually one of the more comfortable bottles I've used. I really wish that they would make some more of these bottles for other devices. I think it's like the perfect feel for squonk. You can really control. Sometimes the bottles are a little too soft, and I think it's hard to control exactly how much you squonk. With this one, though, you get a really good idea of how much you're pushing through when you squonk it, and it's a really, really comfortable, nice bottle. And, of course, there being an extra one in there is a huge, huge positive for me. The casing that it's in is pretty hefty, and I think one thing about it that people have talked about is the actual weight of the mod. And I get it. I mean, it isn't something that you're going to throw in your front pocket and run around with, although I did today and I didn't have any problems with it. But I can understand somebody saying that's a little heavy in order to carry around. But I'm going to tell you this. It's really, once you take the batteries out and you take out the squonk bottle, it's really not that heavy. I mean, this is anodized aluminum, which is fairly light. Then some plastic fixtures around the top here. It's really not heavy at all. What's heavy is that you have 10 milliliters of juice you're carrying around, one, which is heavy. And you're carrying around a really, really nice custom squonk bottle. Quite frankly, I mean, the squonk bottle is like half as heavy as the mod. Then you add in the batteries, and that's really where all your weight's coming from. And there's really nothing you can do about that in the design. There's nothing you could change about this mod that would make it lighter. I mean, it's your batteries in your squonk bottle, basically, that brings the weight. One thing about the, not super crazy about the battery door, but I completely get what he was trying to do. With these slide doors, you have to close it all the way open and then push it closed. So it's going to have a little bit of play in there because that's just how the battery door is. One thing about it, though, this battery door is all metal. So it's not plastic or cheap, like it's going to break off or fall off. And this hinge in here is metal as well, as is the casing of the hinge. And I'll try to show you that. That's all metal in there. So this is not something that's going to break apart or fall apart, at least not in the near future. I mean, ultimately it may. It's pretty sturdy, though. I kind of messed with it the last couple of days to see how sturdy it was, and I've had absolutely no problems with it. So again, another plus. So if you look down here, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but here's where the squonk bottle goes, and there's a little gap in here. Probably won't be able to show it to you just because I'm using a webcam, and you probably won't be able to see it. But ultimately, there's a little hole here in a metal pipe sticking out that connects to your squonk bottle that goes right into here. And that is how you're going to squonk your RDA when you have it set up. There's a little bit of gap in there, not really that much. So I guess there is some concern that you could get some liquid over into that. I can't really tell exactly how much room there is, but it doesn't look like there's a whole lot. And I think if you're careful with it, I've been using this now for, like I said, 2,000 hits or 2,000 puffs. And I have not seen any liquid anywhere else but in the squonk bay here and in the bottle and on the RDA. So I don't notice any kind of leakage at all in this system. I think that might be one concern because it isn't directly into the RDA. You're going a little crosshair. But I just wanted to mention that I mean, I'm sure it probably can happen, but I think if you follow the instructions of taking the bottle out when it's vertical, I think that's really going to prevent it, and I think that's really, really going to help. So let's put this back in. Now, one of the biggest things about this mod that I really, really like is its simplicity to use, and I'll show you what I mean by that. There's not a whole lot. I'm not a big fan of mods that... So first thing, you put the batteries in, it comes right up to your firing screen. It doesn't give you any kind of like intro or warm up or, you know, TVC come popping at you or Dovpo, nothing. It goes right into firing mode. Right now it's in wattage mode. You can go up and down with wattage with your keys here. and it does round robin. So it goes all the way up to 200. One at a time. Oh, whoops, it doesn't round robin. I apologize. So it does not round robin. I guess you could hold that as, but I mean, quite frankly, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's really a negative or a positive. It just doesn't do it. Clear indication of your batteries here. You have A and B, which is also marked on the bay. So you know which battery is which is a pretty cool idea, because if you have put one battery in that's dead and one that's not, then you can tell which one is dead and replace that one without going through and having to test them. So let's put an atomizer on here, and I'll go into the menu section now. The simplicity of the mod, I think, that I mentioned, I think it is really, really key. There's really not a whole lot of things that you can do with, well, there's not a whole lot of extras on this, which I like. So if you press negative and then hit the fire button, it brings you into your menu. So here's the menu. You have power, voltage mode. It goes up to 12 volts, which is absolutely crazy. It has like a booster chip or something, I guess, to shoot it up to 12 volts, which is crazy. I've never heard of a regulated mod that went to 12 volts. That's fantastic. I haven't used it in that mode. I've just kept it in wattage. But actually, I did use it for a little bit yesterday, and I was getting some pretty nice hits off of it. But yeah, if that's something you want to do, it's definitely there. You got nickel, titanium, stainless steel, TCR, and your stats. Now, it says here I have 36 hits, but I accidentally reset it today. So this was up to like almost 2,000 before I reset it, and I'm an idiot. So anyway, that happened. Go back out, go to exit. And there it is. Really nice display. Nothing fancy about it, but it's really clear. I mean, the numbers are big enough that even my old ass can see it. So it's clear and easy to use. Clean this up. Well, I got juice on it when I put that bottle back in. Clean this off just a bit. So 200 watt, it will go down to 0.08, which is what I have my build at, and fire no problem. All right, let's bring it back up top, and I'll give you some thoughts and a little bit of a conclusion here on the TopSide Duel by Dovpo and TVC. So when I got this, I was super excited to get it. I really was, and I actually bought two. I'm going to be giving one away. But I was really excited to get this mod. I didn't have the original TopSide like I mentioned before, and I thought that it would be a really, really nice mod to have, being that it is a dual 18650, and it lets me build down to where I want to build, 0.08, and still vape it and not have any problems with it, and get a high enough voltage on it that I could get the type of hot vape that I like. So that's a huge pro. The look of it, you know, it is, he didn't waste a whole lot of space. I did watch a review, and someone talked about, I think it was Jabo, talked about you could probably fit a 2700 in it, and I kind of looked at it from an engineering perspective, because that's, you know, what I do for a living, and I don't see how he could have. I don't know. Maybe it might have been able to do it, but it would have been hard. There's not a whole lot of space there. I mean, it really would have been, I think it would have probably been negotiable whether you could have done it, and I think sticking with the 18650s is fine. Again, 18650, the battery life on it is decent. I mean, it's not over the top, but it's not bad. I mean, I vaped this all day and I only used one bar. So that tells you right there. I mean, a couple hundred hits on it and one bar down. I mean, I think that's an acceptable battery ratio. And that's at a 0.08 build I had it at 130 watts all day. So it's not like I was vaping like, you know, a 0.2 build at like 75 watts. Like I was rocking this thing all day. So I think that's acceptable. 2700 also adds to the weight. 21700 adds to the weight tremendously. It makes it a lot bigger, and there's no way you could fit a 21700 in here. I can almost guarantee you can fit two 21700s in here. There'd have to be a lot of modifications. The shape of it is good for your hand. It fits well. If you look at how your hand fits on it, it fits well. It is not perfectly fit into your hand, but with the size of it, I think that 10 mil capacity bottle and two 18650s, I think you kind of got to give up a little bit of that, of expecting it to fit perfectly in like an average size hand. You can fire it either way, which is something that I really, really like about a Squonk mod. I don't want to have to worry about whether I have it like this or if I have it like this, left or right-handed. I just want to be able to fire it. And this one's comfortable. The button's right here on the top, so you can get to it pretty easily. The squonk bottle is right there at the bottom where you can get to it. I like squonk bottle. I like squonk mods that are set up like that, where the squonk bottle's in the front and the button's in the back, or vice versa. I think that is a really, really key thing, and really, really nice. The extra bottle that it comes with it, that's a great idea, and really something that, I mean, not a whole lot of people are doing that. I mean, I think it's about 50-50 whether somebody does it or not, especially one that's as nice as this squonk bottle, a custom squonk bottle like that. That's a huge plus, man. That shows that he really wanted to, really wanted to go over the top and make it a really great experience for you. With the extra bottle, I don't think it plays as much of a part in your vaping experience. And what I mean by that is carrying it around. I don't think carrying around an extra bottle with this device is really what it's for. I think it's if you just want to clean that one and you want to use the other one while you clean it. I think that's more of what its intention is, because it is a top fill squonk mod. You know what I mean? It's top fill. So you just pull the top off and fill it up. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you're changing the cartridge on a gun. You know what I mean? Oh my God, I mean, quick! You're not shooting people. You're just vaping. So it's so easy to fill up regardless. I don't think you really need to carry the bottle around, but it's a really, really nice touch that he did that. And again, with the complexity of the bottle, I'm sure it wasn't cheap to do that. The price range on it, it's $89, but you can find a lot of specials on it and get it knocked off. I didn't pay $89 for mine, and I bought it retail. So I think the price on it for what you get, it's definitely fair. For dual battery 18650 squonker, it's a good price. It really is, especially if you can get it like 80 or like 75 to 80 bucks. It's a good price. The simplicity of it, that it lights up immediately when you put it in, when you put the batteries in, it comes right up. Huge pro. The display on it, nice and easy to see for somebody old like me with old eyes. Perfect. It goes down to 0.08. That's a huge plus for me. The voltage mode going up to 12 volts. That's crazy. That's insane. I mean, you could basically vape a 1.5 ohm build in this, no problem. Just drop in voltage mode. You can rock it all day. That's crazy. That's a huge plus, and that's actually an advancement in technology. Like, I didn't know Dovpo was getting into. Really nice. The construction of it, I think, is great. I mean, it's not. There's a couple things you probably could have done to it, that would have added to the cost of it. Maybe instead of plastic, use metal. You know what I mean, on the top. I'm sure that they probably thought about that, but that again adds to the price of it, and that takes it up. Now, he is going to make a version of it that has a EE chip that is going to be, I think he mentioned the Elite or something like that, the TopSide, or the dual TopSide Elite, which have a EE chip and some other things on it, and it'll probably have the metal and everything on that. I'll probably get it because I like this mod, and I'll tell you right now, I will continue to use this. Especially if I'm not testing any other ones for review, I will certainly use this. I will keep it and I will use it. It's a very nice vaping experience. Really easy and practical. I love the top fill option. I think it's great. I don't think you realize how awesome to have a top fill squonk mod is until you actually have one, and it just makes it so much easier. It really, really does. It came, out of the box. Great presentation on it, like I mentioned before. So how would I rate this on a scale of poor all the way to excellent? I say this is a great mod, and this is something that you really, really should look at picking up. It is, it's certainly in its price range, it blows away the competition. There's nothing that can touch this in this price range. Absolutely not. And I'm confident saying that. I try to think of one that was in a relative price range. I mean, you look at the TS, which is a dual, but it's not a regulated mod, and that's over $100. Then you have the Rage, and I think the Rage is right at $100. Which the Rage is a great mod. I like the Rage. I like the way it sits in my hand. I probably would give that the nod with how it sits in the hand with the Rage, but with the extras and with the price obviously is less, with the top fill option, with the battery life on this is a lot better than on the Rage, even with the firmware upgrade. I'd give the nod to this. This is, as far as a non-high end, and when I say high end, I mean like a custom high end, like You know, if you're talking about the what's that thing called, the Tiny or the Tiny V2 or whatever, which I believe that's a dual 18650, which is, and it's like $350, or the Mini, whatever that thing is called. And there's a couple of them. But if you're talking about just everyday carry around, you don't worry about, you know, and carry it with you. You don't have to worry about somebody swiping it or something. It's a replaceable type device. This is the best dual 18650 squonk that I've used. And I've used quite a few. I mean, you know, and I've paid a lot of money for some, and it's better than those. So this is certainly something you guys want to go and pick out. I'm really excited to bring this to you guys, and I'm really excited. I'm giving one away February 1st for the patrons. If you want a whole bunch of stuff I'm giving away, if you guys want to check that out. All right, that is the TopSide duel. Any questions, let me know. Leave me a comment below. Tell me how, you know, how fucking awful the review was. I don't know. Tell me whether you liked the review. If you have any questions or any concerns, anything about it, leave in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer it. Now, I have a giveaway today, 5:30. I'm like fucking clockwork. I am. I'm like 60 minutes. I didn't even look down. Well, I did look. I looked. I wanted to stop it at 5:30. Yeah, so I kind of looked. All right, so there's a giveaway today for 2 bottles, 30 mils of Adore ELiquid, and for a set of coils from Mr. ModifiedStar. To enter that giveaway, you're going to go to Monday's episode, and you're going to put a number between 1 and 150. I'll be pulling that number at the end of the day. What's going on the rest of the week, Scott? Get any idea? Vaping Elevator Guy, Dylan? Do you have any idea what's going on the rest of the week? Well, you want to know? I'm going to fucking tell you. Tomorrow on the Vape at 5, it's not the Vape at 5. Well, it kind of is. Tomorrow, it's a Vape hot tub. We're going to get bubbly. We're going to get sudsy. Now, Hunky Charlie will be here. Hunky Charlie is on special location. He's at an adult film convention. He's an adult film star. I didn't know if you knew that. I keep telling you that. He's an adult film star, Hunky Charlie. And he is at an adult film convention somewhere in the United States. Well, we have a very, very special guest. We're going to start doing guests on the Vape Hot Tub. Tomorrow, our inaugural guest will be Brittany, who has a channel, The Vape Wives. She is the significant other, the better half of Mr. Heavy Metal Vapor. So super happy to have her on. She's a lot of fun. If you guys don't know Brittany or you've never watched a Vape Wife, she's a lot of fun. So